morning, everybody. My name is Tatum Gray, the founder of Guardian Voice of the Missing, and I thank you all for joining us today for the podcast covering several missing persons cases, as well as we will cover some updates as well. Feel free to let me know that you're here if you have any questions on any of the cases that are showing today, or if you have cases that you would like me to get flyers out for, or to get them out on the podcast, or do any type of individual podcasting to cover some of these cases, please feel free to reach out to me and I will work hard to get those cases covered. I'm sorry I haven't done podcasts here in the last few weeks. I've had some families that I've been working on with people that have either been located, recently deceased, or helping a lot of the families get through this whole process that they go through when a loved one goes missing. So I do apologize that I have not done a podcast lately. I'm hoping to continue to get them out. So I do apologize for that. Again, I always want to thank the families out here for sharing stories with me, getting me to know their loved one that is missing, and being able to help them with anything with law enforcement, things that will help them with locating, but also helping them get through and take care of themselves during this process. So again, I always want to thank the families. And you guys are always in my prayers and my thoughts, and you can always reach out to me anytime. And I will be there to talk to you about anything that can help you guys. I'm not sure. Just to let you guys know, sometimes I don't know for sure who's talking to me because it'll come up like this Facebook user. And whoever did post that, you are very welcome. I see that my friend Allison with Missing Persons Alert Nationwide page. This is a page that she has pages for all 50 states, as well as like Puerto Rico and other areas out there as well. She is a great resource to get your flyers seen by multiple people. So thank you very much for being here with me and being a support as well for the missing, and a great advocate for them. Allison also does like a lot of reels and stuff, covering a lot of cases, which is good as well for people. So I want to start out today. It may be a little long podcast because, like I said, I am doing a tribute today for some of my deceased cases that they were located deceased. So I always do want to put them out there as well, to support the loved ones that are out there, give updates. A few of these cases are still active cases. And so I definitely want, that coverage as well for them and for their families. So we're going to go ahead and start out today. Give me one moment. I am having a little technical difficulty here. Okay. All right. So we're going to start out with today's first case. This is out of Kansas, Emmanuel Spiller. He went missing from Wichita, Kansas on June 30th of 2022. At the time of his disappearance, he was 27. He is now 28 years old. He is 6'3", 150 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Emmanuel's disappearance, or his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181, or the KBI Missing Persons at 785-296-4017. Also, if you guys see a case out here, some cases I don't have a lot of information on there. If you are a family member or know more about their case that I could update their flyer and get more information to help get them located, please contact me. Our next case will be a case out of Missouri. This is Beverly D. Williams. She went missing from Kansas City, Missouri on April 9th of 2019. She was 57 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 61. 5'2", 145 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. Beverly was reported had purchased a Greyhound ticket to the Denver, Colorado. The ticket was redeemed. However, it could never be confirmed if Beverly made that trip on the bus. If you have any information regarding Beverly's disappearance or you know their whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5136. Case number is 19026-186. She is also out on the NamUs database, MP72901. And I know that law enforcement there would like to have any tips in locating Beverly. One thing that I will update to you, NamUs, if you do have a missing person that is out there and a report that is done, I cannot stress how important it is to get a report done immediately on a missing persons. It helps law enforcement with locating them to be able to get information out as well. The NamUs database has been a huge push for a lot of advocates and family to get everybody out there. It is a national database. It is public. People can go out there. So if you have cases that you're struggling with getting out there, please contact me and let me see if there's something we could do, but also pushing law enforcement to get them out there. Law enforcement does put missing person cases out on the NCIC. However, that is not a public database, but pushing them to get them out on NamUs is really good because people could go out there, look at updates, get more information on the cases for what law enforcement is allowed to put out on their cases when they're active reports. I do notice that Arkansas has really been putting people out on NamUs. They have a great website for their state as well. So wanting to get more people out there on NamUs and getting pictures out there. I've seen like several people talk about South Dakota that they're one of the databases out there that has a public database and pictures aren't getting put out there. So it's really hard for us as advocates or for law enforcement or anybody that private investigators, families to get their case out there and seen because anybody could be 6'1", 200 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. So making sure like when you make those missing reporting cases and stuff is getting those pictures put out on the website and being active at having people put those pictures out there for your loved ones that are missing. Good morning, Mr. Blackhawk. It is really good to see you here, and we will be covering your loved one's case here in a little bit. Good morning, William West. It's always good to see you from the UK. I'm sure with your next comment at 6 p.m. there over the United Kingdom. I will say William has been very great being from the UK. He shares a lot of coverage even for the UK, but he also does as well for our missing people here in the United States. So I really appreciate William and everything that he does to be a voice for the missing. Our next case is another case out of Missouri. This is Hallie Shafred. She is missing from Hillsborough, Missouri on August 10th, 2022. She was 36 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 37. 5'4", 140 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Jefferson County, Missouri office at Sheriff's Office at 636-797-5000 or the MSHP Missouri Persons Clearinghouse 866-362-6422. Another thing that I've been really busy with, and as you'll see, I've been updating a lot of flyers. People have had birth dates or there's been new information on their case. So I was busy trying to get those updates done as well for them. The next case we are going to cover, and some of these cases I have covered before, is another case out of Missouri. This is Bradley James. He goes by B. Waterhouse. He is missing out of Farmington, Missouri, December 8th of 2019. He was 27 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 30 years old, 5'9", 155 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. Bradley goes by the names B. Brad, Miss Bree, or he spells his name Bradly. Bradley has 4 tattoos, as you can see in the pictures here. He has the word bad on his upper left arm, bossy, wrecker, and a musical note inside his lower left arm. He has Sam, Katie, and Jesse on his upper right arm. He has his lower right arm has Queen with a $sign, diamond, clover, heart, and spade symbols on it. Bradley does dress in women's clothing. Bradley was last seen walking down Patience Avenue in the Eagle Estates trailer court in Bon Terre, Missouri, heading towards a friend's house. If you have any information regarding Bradley's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the St. Francis County, Missouri Sheriff's Department at 573-756-3252. Or you can call MSHP, which is the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Unit, at 866-362-6422. His case number is on his flyer, as well as he is out on NamUs as well. A lot of these cases are out on NamUs. This is a case out of Kansas that I had put out for law enforcement when she first went missing. Her and another girl went missing at the same time from the same location. The other girl has been found. However, Blanca Elizabeth Choco is still missing out of Garden City, Kansas on September 22nd, 2022. She was 16 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 17 years old. She is 5'4", 135 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. She does have a birthmark on her upper right shoulder about the size of a dime, and she has a scar on her outer right bicep that was from a vaccination. Bianca had left home and has had no contact with anybody since she's left. Family is concerned for her well-being and safety. Bianca could be heading to Mexico, California, Nebraska, Tennessee, Minnesota, or Guatemala. If you have any information regarding Blanca's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Garden City Police Department. They're in Kansas at 620-276-1300 or Detective Aguilera at 620-315-7617 or the KBI Missing Persons Unit at 785-296-4017. Hopefully someone will have seen her somewhere and we will get her located and back to where she is safe, because there is concern for her safety as well. This next case was brought to me in talking to the family to get more coverage on Christopher Miller. He is missing out of Janesville, Wisconsin on November 19th, 2022, and he is 27 years old. He is 6 foot, 175 to 180 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. He does have a scar on his thumb. Christopher does have a tattoo of Tammy with stars underneath on his chest. And from what I understand, it's a pretty good size tattoo, I believe. Christopher was last seen wearing black Nike sweatshirt and black and gray Nike Air Max sneakers. Christopher had left his mother's house in Rockford, Wisconsin on the morning of November 19th of 2022, believed to be around 1:45 a.m. He went through the South Belmont toll around 2:04 a.m. The police had attempted to pull him over for a traffic stop around 2:20 when he was heading northbound on Interstate 3990 near Avalon Road. Christopher continued driving and got off the exit at 171 in Janesville, but crashed into a light pole. He continued driving and got back on the interstate going southbound back towards Rockford. Christopher was still being chased by law enforcement with speeds that had been exceeding around 90 miles an hour until he had lost his tire, which disabled his vehicle at 177.6 mile marker, just past Avalon Road exit on the interstate. He fled on foot. The temperatures at that time were freezing and he did not have a coat on. Christopher's credit card, which has had no activity, his Mazda key fob, and sunglasses have never been located. He did not have his ID on him at the time. He has not been active on social media, and his last phone call contact was 10 minutes prior to the tip of the traffic stop / chase through a text. His mother and brother were the last family members to see him, other than the officer who had attempted to pull him over and to get him to exit the vehicle prior to him fleeing on foot. There is police video cam that the family has reviewed on his case to see that. The area where his vehicle crashed has open fields and farmland and a railroad track. There have been extensive searches of the area, including fixed-wing airplanes, canines, drones, ATVs, and personal searches on foot. Miller has never been located. If you have any information regarding Christopher's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Madison, Wisconsin Police Department, West District, or the Rockford County at 608-757-2244, or the tip line at 608-757-7911, or the Wisconsin State Patrol at 844-847-1234. I do have his case number as well as he is out on NamUs. His case is very bewildering, I guess, to me, on the fact that it was open fields, and despite all the searches and stuff, they have not found him. Family has not heard from him. It was very cold that night that he went missing. So I know that they are hoping to do some more searches when the weather gets better as well. So if anybody can, as I say, with all these flyers, please get them shared out. I don't want to see these cases go where people forget about the faces that are on these flyers and getting them back to their loved ones. And I'm sorry, you guys, my allergies are bothering me today. Our next case is Gerald L. Willis. He is missing out of Kansas City, Missouri as well. He disappeared on September 7th at 2006. He was 29 at the time of his disappearance. He is now 46 years old. He is 6'1", 175 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Gerald's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5136 or the MSHP Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 866-362-3422. I know a lot of these cases are very old, but still, nonetheless, they are still missing. One thing that I have really liked seeing, however, they are sad to see that they have been locating a lot of people that are deceased, and they are also being able to identify those cases. And some of those cases are very old. There's been some cases that are 40 years plus out there that they have been able to start identifying remains. This too is another reason why I feel that the NamUs site is very important to have your case out there, because it does identify if there is DNA out there for people to test, but it's also a good site for the loved ones to be able to go out there and look, because they not only post active missing cases that, you know, have flyers, pictures, stuff like that, but it also has cases of unidentified individuals, cases out there where law enforcement is trying to get those cases resolved. That is another key thing that is really good when you have a missing persons case, especially a lot of these cases that are older, is being able to have DNA on file where law enforcement on these cases can check some of these unidentified remains, are also people that may have been identified and for whatever reason can't make contact with their loved ones. So again, that's another reason why I really promote the NamUs site. I think it is a good database and a good resource for getting people located. So definitely, if you don't know about it, go out and check it out. On the ending reel of my podcast, I do have it out there as well. I do have it posted on my web pages as well. This next case, I have been helping out the family. They are very concerned about his safety and his well-being. This is Thomas Seth Redruth. He is missing out of Billings, Montana. He went missing on March 10th, 2023. He is 17 years old, 5'7", 150 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Thomas has been diagnosed with some mental health issues, but he does take his prescribed medication regularly. However, he does not have his medication with him. Thomas was last seen There at the corner of his flyer, and I did mean to put that up a little bit closer for you guys, so I apologize for that. Wearing multicolored pants. One of the legs of his pants was green and the other leg was pink, and black shoes. He could be wearing a mask. Thomas was last seen on March 10th, 2023, entering his high school, and he was there until after school. It is unsure if he has his ID. He doesn't have a phone to be either lost or broken at the time. He doesn't have social media because he had deactivated it prior. Thomas has left in the past, but he's never been gone for this long. It is unknown if he left with anybody from school or if he was by himself. Again, like I say, the family is very concerned that maybe he has gotten involved with the wrong people, and they are concerned about his safety and well-being. Thomas at one time did wear glasses, but it is unknown if he continues to wear those. If you have any information regarding Thomas's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Yellowstone County, Montana Sheriff's Office at 800-877-1082. He is on NCNCMEC as well, which I thought was really great because Thomas is Indigenous. And as you guys know, I'm very much supportive of getting these Indigenous cases out there and being seen. As you can see on Thomas, I put the red handprint on his flyers. I've been told that the hashtag red alert is actually for Oklahoma Indigenous cases. So I will be using those just for Oklahoma cases, but I will be using the red handprint that I was told that is okay to go ahead and put those also on male and female flyers, because I really want these cases to be seen and I really want these cases to be shared, because a lot of the Indigenous cases are not shared or taken seriously. I know there's a lot of cases out there, and this was the big reason why I started Guardian, is cases not being seen. That, you know, there's these high profile cases that get seen, they get all this media attention and everything. And I believe that every person should have a voice that goes missing. I believe their families. And I do really support getting the Indigenous to be seen. So if you have never watched my podcast, again, when you see the red handprint or you see that hashtag red alert, those are Indigenous cases. So I know the families would really love for you guys to share their cases because, like I said, all missing cases are important. I will share a case. I don't care what your racial background is, what your criminal background is, if you're rich, poor, whatever, I'm going to share your cases. I don't care if you have mental health issues, you know, if you have substance abuse issues. People don't just get missing, and everybody is a human being and they deserve to be found. So that is one thing that I really, really want to promote. And you are very welcome. And if you have anything to add to your nephew's case, feel free to comment and I can get those comments on there as well. William makes a very good point. Homeless soup kitchens are a great source of information in finding missing people and homeless charities. You are correct. That is one thing, is getting down to like a lot of the homeless camps that are out there, getting to any type of shelters and getting the missing individuals information out there is really, really good. I think a lot of people don't think about that when our loved ones go missing. But if something has happened to them and for some reason they, you know, don't remember who they are, they, you know, are lost or whatever, that may be a place that they find like some sort of shelter or for some help, or if they do have something that, you know, causes them to not remember, you know, always check those places out, because that's a place where they could get food, they could get shelter. I actually mentioned it to a law enforcement agency that I was helping with, and I asked them, I said, well, have you guys checked out the homeless places? And they said, you know, no, we hadn't thought about that on this case. So getting that information out there is just, I believe, really, really important for our teens that are out there missing, or our children that are out there missing, as well as people that are struggling with substance abuse or mental health. Going and checking out those places and getting those cases. So yes, William, I'm glad you really brought that up. That is completely a viable place that I would definitely tell families to be looking at. Thank you, Claudette. You are most welcome for me sharing Thomas's story. I will share his story every week on my podcast as well. I think that it's great that you guys, I know you guys have been really working hard getting his flyer out to the community and hoping to get him located. Because like I said, he has never been gone this long. It's been over a month. He's never been gone this long. For what I understand, he's been very responsible when it comes to helping his family out with things that they need and stuff. So there is definitely a reason that he has not been located yet, and we definitely need to get him located. William said, do you have a big issue magazine out there they can advertise in them? Well, not that I know of. One of the biggest cases, as you guys well know, that I was very active was Abby Rain Schaefer. And she was located, and I will be doing a video for her next week on her podcast. I've been kind of quiet on her case. It is still an active case where there was some media coverage on her case in the news that was not entirely correct. It was very upsetting to her family, as well as I know there's other families out there that things get released and it's not correct, or it could possibly be damaging to the case that is going on. That is one thing that I'm really working with. I have talked to some of the media outlets in the area and stuff and said, you know, how maybe they could better handle these cases, especially in respects to the family and the loved ones. Keeping up with the cases, airing those cases, doing news reports on those cases, but reporting what is going to help that individual get found, not to have a big scoop on a story. I don't want to go too far into it, but really pushing the news and the media, I think, is really good. I don't know about magazines. I know that several towns do have like little local magazines and stuff. It is something that I would definitely consider looking more into as well. But yeah, if anybody out there knows of any of these magazines or any other social outlets, because I know like in regards to Abby's case, there wasn't a day that went by that Abby's case was not on social media. Not one day since she went missing. Her family was very persistent on that. So I do think social media is a great outsource, but I also think that the news needs to be covering more, your local news, national news, anything. I know that I have seen, I know in the state of Kansas, in Wichita, there is a news anchor that does a missing in Kansas. Annette Lawless, she does a really great job getting cases out there in Kansas. I would like to see the other news media outlets do that. But I also saw, and I can't remember where, that another, I think it might be on one of the more local, but it goes national channels, that they do a missing persons where they do different stories, kind of like how I do the podcast, different stories, and getting those out as well. So I'm seeing a little bit more of them, but I would love to see a lot more. So if you are on here and you're in the news media, either a newspaper, TV station, really kind of consider looking into doing those things. Like I said, the Missing in Kansas, she just does a small segment, I believe, daily. And just getting that covered and shared would be greatly appreciated by families, and it could lead to locating people a lot sooner. Angela Stewart, thank you for Thomas Redwood Blackhawk. God bless this broadcast, and I pray for all the families and loved ones. You are most welcome. I really hope he gets located. So we will continue to share him as well as all of our other cases. William says, thank you. You're most welcome, William. Okay, so let's go on to our next case. This next case is another case out of Missouri. Jack Huddig, he went missing out of St. Charles, Missouri on November 28th of 2022. He's 23 years old, 6'4", 185 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jack's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the St. Charles, Missouri Police Department at 636-949-3300, or the MSHP Missing Persons Unit at 866-362-6422. His case number is there, and he is also out on NamUs. He is out on the Missouri site as well. So, like I said, I'm very happy to see that more pictures are getting out on these databases and more cases are getting put on databases, whether it's their state database or if it's out on NamUs. But like I said, if I was a family, I would definitely be pushing to get these cases out on NamUs. So if that is something you're interested in, please let me know or talk to your local law enforcement about having them get that on. This is a case that was brought to me out of Iowa. This is Jeanette Marie Bear. She's missing out of Des Moines, Iowa on March 14th, 2023. She's 30 years old, 5'10", 130 pounds. Her hair is auburn or red, and she has blue eyes. She does have her ears pierced. Jeanette does have a Q with a spade on the side of her face. She has a crown, spade, diamond, and heart symbols on her fingers. I do have pictures of those tattoos there for you guys to see. Jeanette was last seen at the 4300 block of Merle Hay Road. She does struggle with some health issues. This is the longest that she's ever been without contact with her loved ones. If you have information regarding Jeanette's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call Des Moines, Iowa Police Department at 515-237-1466. This is an older case out of Wichita, Kansas. I did accidentally, just randomly actually met one of her cousins here in the last week, just kind of by accident, and striking up a conversation while we were waiting for our pizza orders. But it did really impress me. I know that there's another Kansas Missing and Unsolved has covered her flyer, so I wanted to get a flyer out for her. This is Jaquila Yvonne Scale. She went missing from Wichita, Kansas, September 5th of 2001. She was 4 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 26. There is an age progression. This is the oldest one that I have found for her. She was 3 inches tall, 40 pounds when she went missing. I do not, I know a lot of people don't understand why I would put that information out there. But if someone would have happened to see her when she first went missing, some of this might strike up somebody's memory of seeing her. She does have black hair and brown eyes. At the time of her disappearance, she had tan hair barrettes in. Her upper teeth were decaying, and she has a brown birthmark on the left side of her face, and she has a scar on her upper right leg. She went by the name Granny Boo. She was a very talkative girl, and her favorite toy was a doll that could turn over by itself. She was last seen wearing a knee-length floral nightshirt in her bed in her home in the 1600 block of North Valasuta Street, approximately at 12:30 a.m. on September 5th, 2001. She was then discovered missing at 3 a.m. and has not been seen since. She was living at the time with her mother, 2 uncles, her 2-year-old brother, and her great-grandmother. She didn't have contact with her father at the time. She had just started preschool that day and was under the care of her great-grandmother that night of her disappearance, as her mother was away for the evening. The night of her disappearance, the back door was broken and it was not able to be locked. There were no signs of a forced entry or signs of a struggle. Also, the family dog did not bark. If you have any information regarding Jaquila's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4220 or 316-660-5450. 5452, or the KPI Missing Persons Unit at 785-296-4017. She is also, you can call NCMEC at 800-843-5778. One thing that the family did release to me on her at one point in time, there was a possibility, and I don't know if it's still a liable possibility, that she could have been in the Kansas City area. So these are things that maybe be on the lookout and see if possibly someone knows something. It is very odd that the family dog didn't bark. So it's not known whether possibly it was somebody that knew them that came in and got her, or what has happened on her case. But I know her family really would love to see and have her located. So if there's anybody out there that has any information, please feel free to contact law enforcement. Also, if you don't feel comfortable calling law enforcement on any of these cases, you can feel free to send me a message as well. This case also is out of Wichita, Kansas. This is Jolie Jackson. She went missing on August 24th, 2022. She was 16 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 17, 4'11", 180 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jolie's disappearance or know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 660-9456, or the KBI Missing Persons Unit at 785-296-4017. And like I said, a lot of these cases I have covered before. These cases, as you can see, these people have been missing for quite a while. So we definitely need to get their flyers back out there in order to try to drum up some more information on them. This is a case that I have been helping with family and other advocates to get him located. This is John Paul. He goes by JP Pardon. He is missing out of High Ridge, Missouri on May 16th, 2022. At the time of his disappearance, he was 19, and he just turned 21 here recently. He's 6 foot, 175 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. He does have multiple scars on his back and his right forearm. JP was last leaving his residence with 2 males. There were statements that he was going camping with friends. However, that has never been confirmed. It is suspected that foul play is a factor in this case, and there has been little to no cooperation from the individuals that were seen with him last or the people he was affiliated. John has had no contact with loved ones or any activity on social media. If you have any information regarding John's disappearance, JP, or know his whereabouts, please call Jefferson County, Missouri Sheriff's Department at 636-796-5000, the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 866-362-6422. I will tell you, on JP's case, there has been a lot of stuff going around on his case ever since he went missing. In that area, one of his friends was murdered, and there's a possibility that there was some rumors to be about, like, maybe he was there or maybe he knew something, and that could be a reason why he has disappeared. That has never been confirmed by law enforcement. I want you guys to know it hasn't been confirmed, but I do think it's something important to mention, that foul play is very much suspected in his case. There has been efforts to try to do some searches. However, those efforts and those searches have not came through yet on his case. And I think it's really important that some searches be done in his case. People disappeared. They were not cooperative. People have been known to lie about certain facts, come back and not tell the truth. Like I said, supposedly he was supposed to go camping, but it is believed that that was not a true and accurate statement for him. JP is very much loved by his family and his friends, and it's been 2 years. He's 21 years old. He was 19 when he went missing. If you guys could please keep his story out there alive, I know that his family would greatly appreciate it. He does have a page that is set up for him as well on Facebook. Several of our cases do, to follow his story. But I'm hoping to see a search be done for him, because I think it's very important. However, I know with searches, a lot of times it's really hard, especially if it's public or private property. You have to get permission from the owners as well. So I think that is a little bit of a tie up with his case, but there's also some issues with law enforcement as well as them being able to get permission as well, from what I understand. And like I said, like this person is saying, it is very suspicious on his disappearance. I can't go too much into the facts that I do know about his case and the things that I have seen, but definitely, I have the feeling that there is definitely foul play in his case. And I'm hoping, like I said, I'm really hoping that we could get some searches done where some of the stuff has led us to believe. But I will tell you, I've noticed a lot of cases in Missouri, in certain areas in Missouri, that it's hard sometimes to get law enforcement to do what they need to be doing. And I will tell you guys, I'm a huge supporter of law enforcement, but I definitely feel like law enforcement out there, just like with the times, things change, and I definitely feel like a lot of agencies need to start reevaluating how cases are handled, pushing to get cases, get the search warrants, and be a little bit more active in cases and stuff as well. Like I said, just with like cases, especially if they've had criminal background, if they're substance abuse users, mental health, it doesn't matter. A person is a person. I did have talked to a law enforcement agency. I'm not going to mention the state. Talked to them about pushing to get a missing persons report out to help the family. And for one, the guy lied to me and said he was a detective, which I knew he wasn't. Number two, his whole thing was basically like, well, he's an adult. He can do whatever he wants, even though their state statute says they have to take a report. And then it was basically like, it didn't matter. And he told me they have 90 some missing cold case files on missing persons. And my first question to him was, did you at the time put out an active missing persons report? And he said no. And I said, well, maybe if you would have taken the family serious and put that missing persons report active and started actively searching, maybe you wouldn't have so many missing cases. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe that was indifferent. But all these states, you don't have to wait 24 hours. That no longer exists. So when law enforcement tells you that, they need to go look at their state statutes. State statutes say you can make a missing persons report immediately. The KBI actually has out on their website about why it's important to put out a missing persons report. Other agencies have that as well. So I believe if the KBI, FBI, and all them really, say that this is important, the first 24, 48 hours is important on a missing persons case, then that needs to be taken serious. Families should not have to fight to put a missing persons report out. So get that education out there to law enforcement, advocates, families. Keep pushing. If your city won't do it, please don't do it. Go to your sheriff's office. The sheriff's office won't do it, then I would take it to the next level, to the highway patrol police, where those agencies can help you get people out. But also making sure that these statutes are taken serious, they're looked at, and law enforcement is aware of it as well. I know right now that Kansas City, Missouri's police department have been working on reforming their missing persons because it was taken away. Their unit was taken away, and now they're putting it back in. They are looking and evaluating how to do things better with their missing persons. This is something they've had in the works for about a year, but it did come out publicly in the media here around the last couple weeks. So, like I said, don't give up on making missing persons reports. Push, push, push. look at your state statutes. I do have some information on state statutes, but like I said, I have not came across one state in the United States that you have to wait 24 hours. So just really push them to be educated on their laws. I know there's a lot of new officers that are out there, and they're not going to get trained on this stuff. So we got to push for these agencies to push the importance of why missing persons reports need to be done immediately. So you, even as families, don't wait. Do not wait to make a missing persons report. So many cases I've seen that they've waited a week, a month, whatever. Don't do that. Immediately call law enforcement and get that case out there so they could get it in the NCIC. We could get it out on NamUs and nationwide. That's the other thing. A lot of people are like, I don't understand why you guys are sharing cases from Kansas in, Florida. Well, because people get out of state with the sex trafficking, with, any of that stuff, kidnappings, they immediately get them out of state. And it doesn't take long. You would be amazed. I have seen a case out of Kansas that they were in Denver, Colorado, within less than an hour. So, I mean, it is important to get these cases covered everywhere because you have no idea where they could be. So getting those cases shared in multiple states is a good idea. But also if law enforcement comes in contact with them and they're they have that active missing person report and they're in the NCIC or in NamUs, then that law enforcement agency will know that they're missing. And they'll be able to hold them or contact someone to say, hey, we came in contact with them. We have them here. That's why it's so important for law enforcement to have that information, get them in the database. Because there has been times that law enforcement has came across somebody. They didn't know that they were missing. And of course, they let them go or, whatever. And then later on found out. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My screen froze. I'm back. So I hope, let me know if you guys can see me. I'm sorry that my screen did freeze up. Okay, so let me go on to the next case, and that's my dog growling in the background. So I apologize for that. All right, this case is out of South Dakota. This is Lloyd Bald Eagle. He went missing from Rapid City, South Dakota on November 1st, 2022. He is 61 years old, 5'4", 150 pounds, brown hair, and he does have brown hair, and they said his eyes are gray. If you have any information regarding Lloyd's disappearance or his whereabouts, please call the Rapid City, South Dakota Police Department at 605-394-4131. Again, I apologize for you guys for that freeze up. I haven't had that happen before. Okay, so it's better. Thank you, William, for letting me know that. I appreciate that. Again, I apologize, guys. I normally don't have technical difficulties. I do right now want to share the located deceased reel that I did. it's always sad to see the ones that were located deceased, and it's hard as well. And like I said, a lot of people reached out to me on Abby's case because I was very active on her case with her being helping out her family, helping out law enforcement to find her. And I do appreciate everybody that did reach out and check on me to see how I was doing. And I'm doing okay, but my main thing is please go out and support her family and all the loved ones that their missing person and loved one was located deceased. Please, reach out to them, give them the love and support and prayers that they deserve. Like I said, some of those cases are still very active cases because there's possibility that foul play was, in some of the cases, foul play was a part of why they're missing. So, like I said, to the families, I'm so sorry for your guys' loss. If there's anything that we can do to help you through this process, please let us know. The other thing that I kind of want to bring up is the fact that people are cruel when people are found sometimes. That was something that did happen in Abby's case. People made a lot of horrible comments about her case because of the newspaper article and media coverage after she was located. That was something else that I really strongly suggest is watching your platforms. And when you see negative, non-supportive comments to people under cases, to get those removed immediately, because families are going through enough with the loss of their loved one. They don't need to have to deal with all that as well. So just going out and reaching out to those families. Like I said, a lot of them have pages or just making comments when you guys see that we've updated flyers, or if law enforcement has made a statement, please just go out and support them. The negative comments are not needed. To me, it's just absolutely disgusting and gross. But these families, for one, have went through all this just to find them, and then to find them deceased is just, I just can't imagine to be in that. One thing that I can share is my son's had a cousin that went missing, and he was located deceased. And I think people need to be a little bit more loving and supporting on missing people and to their families and what they go through. I'll try not to be too much because, I do have a lot of passion, and my heart just really goes out to these families. And I will continue to work with a family and be there for families forever, whether they're located any way that they're located. I always still continue to pray for these families and for the missing, continue to support them through this as well. So if you guys definitely on any of those people that I shared that were unfortunately located deceased, please reach out to their families and just, or say a prayer or say a good thought for them, because it really means a lot to those families. I'm not for sure. William said maybe if we all share missing to a storyboard, it could help. I think anything could help. As well, just anything out there can help. Any type of media coverage or anything. Oh, okay. Are you talking about the story reels that you can post in your story? Is that what you're talking about, William? I will tell you guys, sometimes depending if you're not directly sharing from the original post, sometimes those come up blank or whatever. Sometimes I have to delete them off my page because it's like an empty post that people share. So maybe going to the original source or going actually to NCMEC and sharing exactly from there. Daily missing persons report. This is something that Missing Persons Alerts just started doing. I think she's been doing it a little less than a month, I believe. I could be wrong, and I'm sure Allison will correct me. But this is something that she puts out daily, and it's just a reel with all different types of missing persons from all across the nation. So that's something I would definitely tell people to check out as well. They said people can be so cruel and thoughtless towards the missing, judging piercing, tattoos, clothing, and if it's juveniles, the parents. Absolutely. And this is something I would like to see changed as well. Just because a child goes missing doesn't always mean they're from a bad home or anything like that. And like I said, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're missing, you're a human being. You deserve to be found. And that's it. That's just period. It's a human being and they're important. I have 2 more cases, but I also want to do the located safe reel as well. This case is another case out of Wichita, Kansas. This is Samantha Jackson. She went missing on September 6, 2022. She is 32 years old, 5'4", 193 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Samantha's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181, KBI at 785-296-4017. And hopefully we will get her located and back to her loved ones. Give me one moment. There is one more case I wanted to get covered as well today. Okay. Like I said, you guys keeping at, just be very stringent on getting those missing persons reports out there and seen. Thank you, William. I appreciate everything you do as well. These are some good hashtags. You guys see a lot of us that are doing hashtags all the time. Hashtags are important because it makes the individual's flyers and information on them easier to be found and searched for. So I definitely suggest doing those as well. This is another case out of Kansas City. This is Theotis Hudson, and actually he's missing from Kansas City, Kansas. I'm sorry I put Missouri on there. He went missing October 27th, 2007, 24 years old. He is now 39, 6 foot, 149 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He does have a 1-inch scar near his eye and has an unknown tattoo on his shoulder. He was last seen leaving his home in his girlfriend's vehicle at 11 p.m. and has not been seen or heard from since. He was wearing blue jeans, a black Utah long sleeve shirt, and a black coat with a hood. He was driving a dark green 1990 Chevy Cavalier with tag number 5BG77A. If you have any information or you know his whereabouts, please contact the Kansas City Police Department at 816-234-5136 or the Missouri. I guess he is missing out of Missouri. I need to fix that. Sorry, guys. Missouri State Highway Patrol, Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 800-877-3452. And hopefully, as far as I know, I do not believe that that vehicle has ever been located either. Not that I know of. Okay. This last one that I want to share is, I don't know if you guys had saw that I had posted Brandon's Law on both of my pages today. I know a lot of people in Minnesota have trouble with getting missing persons reports or getting cases actually out there. And law enforcement active in these cases. So I wanted to share Brandon's law. And this is a law that was passed after Brandon Victor Swanson went missing from Marshall, Minnesota on May 14th, 2008. He was 19 at the time of his disappearance. He was 5'6", 120 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. You do see on there that I do have a age progression on him. That was an age progression up to 30 years old. So that was the newest one that I could find on him. So on Brandon, he does wear glasses. His right ear was pierced, but it's unknown about his left. But I did kind of see something that there's possibility that both of his ears were pierced, and he was wearing studs in his ear at the time that he disappeared. He does have a scar in his left eye, and he's legally blind in his left eye. Brandon was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, a blue striped polo shirt, baggy blue jeans, a black hooded zip-up jacket with an emblem on the back. He did have a white flat-billed Minnesota Twins baseball cap twisted to the side, white sneakers, and a heavy sterling silver necklace. Brandon had went out to celebrate with his friends due to it being the last day of classes at the Minnesota West Community College and Technical College in Canby, Minnesota, where he was enrolled in the wind turbine program. He had been to a couple of parties. However, his friends said he only had a few drinks and he didn't appear intoxicated. He left his friend's house around midnight to drive 30 miles back home. He called his parents around 12:30 and said that his car was stuck when he had slid into a ditch. His parents went out to help him, but they were unable to locate him at the location that he said he was. Brandon said he was going to walk to the nearby town of Lynn, Minnesota, which is about 7 miles from Marshall, where he could see lights. He was on the phone with his father. However, shortly after 2 a.m., Brandon swore, and then the call ended abruptly. Despite several calls back from his parents, he never did answer, and he has not been seen or heard from again. His parents did continue to look for him and reported him missing that morning. Police did locate his car using phone records 1.5 miles north of the Lyon-Lincoln County line off of Highway 68 west of Taunton, Minnesota. I believe is how you say it, with the doors were open, but there was no keys. This location actually was 20 miles away from where he had told his parents he was. There have been searches, and it was believed that he could have fallen into the Yellow Medicine River while he was walking in the dark, and the river was 15 foot deep in some places, and it had been running fast that day. However, he has never been located despite all the searches that they have. Foul play is a possibility in his case. Brandon's law was a law that was passed later in 2008, which required Minnesota law enforcement to begin to immediately search for missing adults under 21 and adults that go missing under suspicious circumstances. If you have any information regarding Brandon's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call Lincoln County, Minnesota Sheriff's Office at 507-694-1664 or the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension at 651-793-7000. I will tell you that his case is on the FBI site as well. So I definitely wanted to get that information out to families in Minnesota about Brandon's law to hopefully help if anybody is having any type of problems or any issues getting, missing persons reports. I did find like a brochure or something that really broke it down. I'm trying to figure out how to get it on there. I will try to maybe share that. I think that's the link that I shared on there as well for you guys. It says, please everyone check out missing person sites from all around the world. There could be anywhere, and if trafficking is involved, that is very, 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 very true. So yes, there have been several cases of some missing people that have bounced from state to state because they've been trafficked as well. So I would like to kind of close out the show with the located safes. And like you guys know, I always do a prayer after that, but I do want to show you the reel of all the located safes recently. It's always good to see the located safe. And I actually do have one more that I need to update today that I found out that she was located safe. I'm really glad, considering the circumstances of her case, that she was located and she is doing okay out there. I do too. I really do love the located safe reels very much. And you guys are most welcome to the information that I have got for you guys. Like I said, love to all of you guys. Again, thank you to the families that share these stories with me, give me information about their loved ones. I really do feel like I get to know the person that's missing and, be able to connect with you guys all in order to help get them located. That is one thing I really try to do, is get people to really see that these are, these are human beings. They deserve to be located. They are very much loved by their loved ones, despite anything at all. And really get people to invest into their stories, to share their stories, and to help get them located. Like I said, on Brandon Swanson, thank you very much. It is, she is talking about Brandon's case. It is a very interesting case. I hope that someone out there, like I said, somebody out there knows something about all these cases. They need to speak up. I've said in the past, I feel like people should be responsible for their actions. If you do something to someone, if it's an accident, I know accidents out there do happen, but instead of freaking out, contact law enforcement. Don't hide the fact if it was an accident. Now, I also know that a lot of things are not accidents, and people need to be responsible. And for these cases, these families need to have some sort of, I don't like to use the word closure because I don't know that families ever get closure. But at least some sort of, a little bit of peace, or knowing, what happened to their loved ones. People don't just vanish off the place, off the face of the earth. That just doesn't happen. People don't leave their children behind. People don't leave their jobs. That's one of the biggest ones, is when there's children involved. Parents don't normally walk out of their children's life, especially when they're very active in their children's life. So somebody out there knows something about all these cases, but we need to definitely keep all these cases and all the cases that are out there, out in the community's eyes, pressing the news media to take these cases more serious and being more active, not just when they're located and found and there has been something sinister that has happened to those people, but to help maybe get these people located. For the ones that are trafficked, get them back safe and out of those situations. And like William said, they could be anywhere. I have a case right now. There's a possibility that they're no longer in the United States that I came across. Those cases are possible. Anything is possible. Don't just post where they went located. Branch that out wider. That's what's great about social media, is getting those cases out there, getting those cases seen. And don't take no for an answer when law enforcement, if law enforcement won't do a missing persons report. Never take no for an answer. I don't take no for an answer. If someone says, no, you can't do that, I'm going to keep pushing because it's the right thing to do. And if you guys are struggling with getting missing persons reports, getting, any type of law enforcement or media, let us advocates know. Let us be the voice for you guys. The more people that advocate, the more people are the voices for the people that are missing, and also making changes that need to be changed for people to take these cases more seriously. Just don't stop talking. Keep it out there, in there, and know that there are tons of people out here that love you guys. They support you guys. And we want your loved ones to be found and located. And we want changes to be made where we don't have people that have been missing for years. We want to get them found immediately, get them back home, and get them any type of care that they need, any support that they need, and stuff like that. So never take no for an answer. Thank you for that. I try to do my best, you guys, on podcasts. And like I said, I really apologize that I hadn't done one for a while. Like I said, I know there's people that say, oh, all you do is missing persons flyers. That is not everything that I do. And that is not everything that I do. So just know that I do apologize, but I really did need to work with some of the families that have been going through some stuff and then working on some cases. But don't ever think that if I do a case that your case is not important. Every one of these cases out there is important to me, and I want to help get them located. Because like I said, if you guys have cases out there that you want to be seen and you want to get more coverage on them, feel free to contact me. People contact me on my personal page. I don't care if you contact me on my personal page. You can contact me out on Guardian. Missing Persons Alert, like I said, is another one. Contact them. They could get me information. Family, friend, it doesn't matter. Just let me know if there's cases out there that need to be covered that you guys feel are not being covered. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Just let me know. You're never a bother. I don't care, day or night, whenever you want to contact me. If I don't answer, I'm either busy or I may possibly be sleeping. Some people don't think that I sleep, but I do try. I get that a lot. So anyways, everybody, I know this kind of went a little over an hour, but I so appreciate all of you guys and all of your support that you give to the families, to the loved ones. Also, helping us advocates get information out to people. For the private investigators, advocates, law enforcement, everything. Again, families, I can't say enough about the families. My heart just so goes out to you guys. And, make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. I know it's hard, but you got to take care of yourselves. This process is not easy, especially on the loved ones. But I would like to, I'll check these two other comments, and then I want to close out with a prayer. Missing Persons Alerts also is in Canada. I did forget to mention that. So, and that's, I'm really happy that she did that and posted that and has that out there, because many people cross the borders, especially trafficking cases, kidnapping cases, and other cases. the border from the United States to Canada, the border to Mexico. These are all places that people could go. And like I said, and William brought up, spreading it nationwide and international is very important. So putting it, check out Missing Persons Canada alerts. That's another place that you could be posting flyers as well. There are some international pages as well that are out there that I do tend to post on. And I know there's other advocates and stuff. There was just a case not too long ago, a few months ago, that the lady went missing from Kansas. They found her in Thailand. Very, very weird, strange story how she got there. And she was in a shipping container. And the only reason is she had identification that they knew who she was. That's a long distance, so these other countries are definitely possibilities for people. So definitely, post them everywhere. There are some places out there that I've posted that they won't post it, and my thing is shame on you. So you can post anything on my page. Anything that could help. So always feel free on the group. You guys can post what you want as long as it deals with missing people, because that's what I have that page set up for. But I know William posts a lot of stuff from the UK. I know I have people posting stuff from Canada. I do have one British Columbia case that I have a flyer on that I need to update as well. So yeah, definitely post out there everywhere, because you never know who's going to see it. You are most welcome. Like I said, I will continue to share Thomas's story and get it out there. And I appreciate you guys for sharing his case with me. Someone asked, can we share their TikToks? I don't care as long as they're appropriate. If I find out they're inappropriate, I will take them off. And you might get banned. I will tell you, I do ban people on my page a lot for just inappropriate stuff. I don't care if you guys do reels. I don't care if you do TikToks, as long as they are focusing on the missing. I don't mind it. I know other pages do. I don't mind it. As long as they are appropriate, they're sharing information to help get people located. I do not mind it on Guardian's page. And a lot of times, if you guys are sharing on the group, I do post that over on the page as well. But no, I don't care if you do TikToks. I think TikTok is another place that is a good avenue. Just make sure they're appropriate and make sure that they're actually putting out information to locate someone. The other thing is, when you guys are posting stuff, make sure that people know where, like what state or what country or, something where they're from. Because I know a lot of people, want to share stuff, but they don't know. So things that are important to have on your TikToks, on missing persons flyers, or anytime you share something about a missing person, name. Where did they go missing from? When did they go missing? Height, weight, age, hair color, eye color. I don't expect you guys to get real detailed. You don't have to get as detailed as I do on some of my flyers. But those are the law enforcement agency and phone number, and if you possibly have a case number. Those are, I would say, the most important things you could do for missing persons, because people will post a picture and say, my cousin's missing. But we don't know where, we don't know who to contact if we had a tip. So making sure that you have those things, their name, where they went missing from, when they went missing, height, weight, hair color, but definitely the where is important, and what law enforcement for them to contact is extremely important, because someone out there might see your TikTok or your post, but they don't know who to call if they have a tip. So that's why those are things that I feel are have to have when you're sharing missing persons information. One thing that I will tell you that I will not share is I will not share the family's information. I strongly suggest to families, do not put your personal information out there on a flyer, out there on social media. I've dealt with several cases where there's a lot of people that are scamming missing persons. Please, please, please do not do that. It is not safe. It is very detrimental to families, what they go through, for what these people will say to you, and everything. And if you are getting contacted by someone like that, the FBI does have a online form that you can fill out, because they do investigate those cases and try to get those people apprehended and charged for doing those types of things. And I do have that posted on my thing. I will get that posted back out there. But please, for the safety of you, for the missing, for the families, do not put your personal information out there. I cannot stress that enough, but I can't stop you guys from doing it. But those are just little things that I find very important. And I agree, it is confusing, especially even for us advocates, because we want to get your stories and more stuff on your stories out. It's just really, really, really helpful to have that. And always check if someone reaches out to you. Even if I reach out to you and you didn't know who I was, always check out who people are. I've had law enforcement contact me on certain cases that I've done. And get their badge number. I got his badge number. He was a detective. I got his badge number. I called the place. And they were like, oh, wow. They're like, that's awesome that you do that. More people need to do that, because you don't know who you're talking to. So, if someone says they're a police officer, or if they're a private investigator, get their information and verify it before you talk to them. And I've had issues, families have issues with private investigators reach out. That's one thing I don't really promote. If I don't know the private investigator, I do support TLPI. They are a great private investigator as well. But be careful who's reaching out to you guys. If you don't know, you feel free to send me a message or anything and let me know, and I will help check them out or see if I know anything about them to help you. But I will tell you, TLPI is a legit private investigation. So when you guys see me do reels or lives, because I have done some lives, they're a very good agency out there. I cannot speak for any other agency at this point, because there's been a couple and that are not legit that are out there. And I do try to monitor that on my page as well, because I want to prevent any harm that would come to any of you guys as well. So if you're out on my pages and people are contacting you, please feel free to message me and let me know. Those people will be removed. I just have no tolerance for the harm that I've seen, or for the harm that I've had to deal with to try to help families from either scammers trying to solicit money, or people just try to be cruel. And I will tell you, there are a lot of cruel people out there that will attack you guys as families. If you guys ever see that on my page or any of the pages like Missing Persons Alert, if you guys see that, send us a message and let us know. Any of those pages, let those pages know what's going on. Someone said Yelp, and like Private Eyes, they are licensed. They have to be licensed as well. So definitely be safe out there. Protect your information. Protect your loved ones' information as well. And again, you guys, sorry, I kind of went on a little rant, but I thought that was important to add that to the podcast. Again, thank you guys so much for being here, being the voice for the missing, supporting the loved ones, sharing these stories, keeping these stories alive, sending tips. If you know any tips, I don't care how small it is, send those tips to law enforcement. If you don't feel comfortable, please reach out, send a message, let us know. We can pass that on as well. So again, I appreciate all the families out there. Thank you so much for sharing the stories, allowing us to help you guys get them located. To the private investigators, law enforcement, and advocates out there, keep being strong and do what's right by these families and these loved ones to get them located. We couldn't do it without you guys as well. If you know something, say something. If you see something, say something. There's a lot of anonymous ways that you can leave tips as well. Just let people know that you want to be anonymous, and just, please never stop being the voice for these loved ones. And thank you so much. So I would like to close out in a prayer today, like I do at the end of all my podcasts. And I will continue to pray for all of you guys. And I am praying that your loved ones will come home. And if anything has happened to them, that justice will be served. And anybody that is out there harming people will be taken off the streets where they no longer can do that. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here today to share the stories of the lost and the missing. Please continue to give the strength to the loved ones that are missing someone, to the missing, for them to be able to come home, for all the law enforcement, advocates, private investigators out there. Please give them the strength, the knowledge, and the sight to protect these cases, solve these cases, and continue to keep bringing people home. For the ones that have lost somebody and were located deceased, I pray for those families to have some peace and closure, and for the ones that have been lost that way, for them to rest in peace and know that there's not one day that we will ever stop thinking about any of the missing and be a voice for them. Thank you so much, Lord, for all that you do and giving us strength to continue to be the voice of the missing. God bless. Amen. And I'll give you guys the last few. Okay, I will try to do that. This one. This podcast was kind of a quick one, but I will have one next week. Again, you guys, love you all. I'm here if you guys need anything, and please share these flyers. Have a great day.